Hey everyone, how are you all going? I'm Onida and I am here to talk to you about all of the best books I have read out of the 300 books I have read so far in my reading journey. 300 books is quite a lot for me considering I'm a slower reader. Like, it has literally taken me 2 weeks to read a 400 book that should take me around 4 to 5 days to finish. It's just ridiculous. Out of the 300 books I have read, here are the best. I have split this up into standalones and series, so let's just get on with it. The first standalone I have is a thriller, and that is The Silent Patient by Michaelides. This one is so incredibly hyped, it's very well worth it. It follows a woman who has shot her husband. She has been then put into a mental facility because she just cannot talk to anyone. Any therapist that tries to help her, they just don't even bother. They quit within like the first few sessions or so because they just can't get anywhere with her because she is a silent patient. She doesn't talk about anything at all. One therapist or psychologist, one or the other, I get confused with the two. I think they're both the same. Anyway, a therapist or a psychologist decides, let me have a go at this. I think I can really make her open up. He gives it a shot, he gives it a good crack at it. And oh boy, let me tell you, the best part of this book is the plot twist. That plot twist I did not even see coming. It was just so well written, so well done. I have to reread the book again. I remember the plot twist blowing me out of the water just with how well executed it was. But I don't remember how it came to be because it was just it completely blew me out of the water, and it was so well done that I have forgotten how it happened. And it was kind of like it was following like different timelines, and the way that those timelines were seamlessly interwoven to make it feel like it was only just one cohesive narrative, one cohesive storyline, when really it was kind of like two, because we're following the psychologist, right, and his issues that he has, and also the sessions that he has with this silent patient, with this lady that shot her husband. And oh boy, it was so masterfully done, so incredibly good. And I can't wait to read more from this author. I know he has written another book. Don't know if he's going to have another one. I hope he writes another one because The Silent Patient was just fantastic. Then we have The Night Film by Marisha Pessl. On a damp October night, the body of beautiful Ashley Cordova is discovered in a Manhattan warehouse. Though her death is ruled a suicide, investigative journalist Scott McGrath suspects otherwise. The last time McGrath got too close to the Cordova dynasty, he lost his marriage and his career. This time he could lose his mind. This book talks a lot about films, about cult followings, and about reclusive and very controversial directors, which I think a lot of us would know of some of those kind of directors. It is told in a multimedia format as well, which really enhanced the book and enhanced my experience of reading the book, because I really do enjoy books that have multimedia formatting in it. Just makes it a bit more interesting, you know, keeps it going as well. It makes it feel like you are the character. When you are reading news articles or transcripts or something like that, you actually feel like a character, like you feel like you are in the scene in the book with them. There is a murder mystery element which really captivated me, which really intrigued me, because was it a suicide? Was it a homicide? There is so much secrecy with the Cordova family, and I don't know what to believe. Like, at the end of the book, I was just left stumped because I don't know what's true. The Cordova family was such a reclusive, private family, like Cordova, like the director, and we don't know. We don't know. He has such a close-knit team behind him that I wouldn't be surprised if they tell people that follow the Cordova family what they want to hear, just to get them off the Cordova family's back, you know, because they respect their privacy and they're very secluded and isolated. It just made me so suspicious because of how quickly it felt like the resolution of Ashley's murder was, or suicide, murder, whatever. It left me a little bit suspicious because I don't think I believe him. It was done so well. The writing is so good. I had a very fun time with this. I loved it so much that I actually got the physical copy of it. I did read this via ebook first, and I loved it so much. I had heard good things about this book before and about Marisha Pessl's writing. Now let's get onto the series. If you've been following me for the past, few months or so, you would know I am pretty much obsessed with a series right now. And who would I be if I didn't put Attack on Titan as the best books I have read out of the 300 books. Honestly, it's truly incredible. You would have heard me talk non-stop about this. What is left of humanity is living behind 3 walled cities because there are these humanoid titans going around munching on people, and there's one attack in particular that has made humanity step up and say, we gotta figure out what is happening, we gotta stop these titan attacks from happening. The reason why, for me, this is like the best books I have ever read, the best series I've ever read. Honestly, I'm gonna go on like a little bit of a tangent here, I apologize. I feel like I have read much more series than I have, and I'm going to do a video about all the series I have read so far. I feel like I've read more than I actually have, but because I think I have so many series I want to read, and because I'm in the middle of so many series, it feels like I've read more. So now that I've said that, because I feel like I should have had more series on this list. I'm not going to get into that at the moment, but Attack on Titan, here we go. It would have to be my absolute favorite thing I have ever read. Expect this to be on the top of my best books I've read list, because I have pretty much forgotten everything else I've read since starting the series. The best thing about it, the characters are great. The world is very interesting. These titans have powers as well. So this book has been classified as like a horror. I would call it a bit more of a fantasy. I'd probably dark fantasy. Honestly, probably dark fantasy. The horrifying part is the world that they live in, where titans like literally start eating people, where the titans eat people. That's the horrifying part. The plot twists and the foreshadowing is so masterfully done. This author's brain and the way his mind works to work those plot twists into it, like, you have already been told what is going to happen, and you have to be smart enough and use your brain to figure it out, because you will read something and you won't even think anything of it. You won't think it's going to be contributing to a plot twist of any sort. Then you get to the plot twist and you think, how the hell did I miss that? How did I miss that? The details are so subtle. You got to really turn your brain on. But I say don't turn your brain on too much. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Just go with the flow, because that's what I've done. That's what I'm doing so far. The last series I have to talk about is Game of Thrones, or the A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. As Warden of the North, Lord Eddard Stark counts it a curse when King Robert bestows on him the office of the Hand. His honor weighs him down at court, where a true man does what he will, not what he must, and a dead enemy is a thing of beauty. The old gods have no power in the south. Stark's family is split, and there is treachery at court. Worse, the vengeance-mad heir of the deposed Dragon King has grown to maturity and exile in the free cities. He claims the Iron Throne. So, what someone has said was, it's like a thriller book, because there's a Lord Eddard Stark wants to investigate the murder of his friend, who was previously the hand to the king that he has now been offered the position of. So what was in the first book a kind of thriller, like a fantasy thriller, is now like a full-on fantasy book about kingdoms wanting the throne and wanting to rule over everyone, wanting the power, the prestige, the title of claiming the Iron Throne and sitting on the Iron Throne. The politics and the world and the characters and the magic, there is some magic, and the dragons were the best part for me. Even the worlds are so fully realized and so fleshed out. You could probably say to yourself, hey, this world or this country in this world feels very reminiscent and very familiar of this country in real life. It has that feeling. And the one thing that I love about the series is the political scheming and political backstabbing of the characters. And just like the characters with each other was just absolutely fantastic. So many chess pieces just moving around, and just the overall brutality. It doesn't, I have heard people say this is dark fantasy. Yes, it is, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel like a dark fantasy until it gets to A Dance with Dragons, which is book 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, book 5 in the series. That's when it really starts to feel like a dark fantasy to me, where there's like a lot of backstabbing and political scheming and chess pieces moving around, and it's fantastic. I love it. My most read series to date, apart from Heartstopper, I believe. Still patiently waiting for Winds of Winter, just like everybody else. Okay, steady now. There we have it. Those are the best books, and also Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides as well. That is it. That's it. That's all the books. I feel like I should have had more, but I think the thing is, there are so many books I've read that I've loved and I've really enjoyed and have given a good rating, and that I don't necessarily think are the best. And then there are also books that I consider to be my favorite and that I have given 5 stars without being favorites that haven't made it onto the list, because like books that are your favorites is such a personal thing, and it's not necessarily always the best. It was a bit of a struggle to find books that I think are the best for this video, but nonetheless I got there. I do want to do another video like talking about all the best books I've read out of the who knows how many, like next time make it 600. I don't know. I think I want to do that. Let me know down below what you think, and also let me know down below what you think of any of these books. Did any of them sound interesting to you? Have you read them? Did you enjoy them? Let me know what your best books are. I would really like to read them and check them out. How many books have you read out of all the books you've read in your lifetime? And I will see you in another video. See you later.